Hey guys, welcome back to Travel Check-ins with Saidah
and Germaine.
So today, in part 2, episode 2 of our series, just kind of introducing you to our channel, we're going to talk about why we sold everything to move to Kenya and how we prepared for our move. And this video is for both our US audience and our Kenyan audience, just to kind of give you an idea of like what it looks like to actually uproot your life and move to another country. So, Germaine, let me start off with a question for you. What did we do financially to prepare for this move?
Well, the main thing was find a way to be mobile, have an income coming while you moving about, going wherever you need to go. So that means I had to give up my job and find out how to make some money online. Yeah. Put a house up for rent, and we sold all the stuff out of the house, couches, everything. I thought I'd miss some of that stuff, but when you're in a different place, man, I ain't think about them couches or none of that since TVs or nothing.
Yeah, me either. So we really had to sit down and run the numbers of what it was going to cost us, our expenses in the US, and what our expenses in Kenya were going to cost. Yeah. And we had to say, okay, will we be able to manage this? And when we looked at the expenses, and we had just rough numbers, because remember we kept going over the numbers, we kept asking our friends here in Kenya, like, what can we expect? What's the estimates and all of that, right? Do you think that we estimated accurately? Did we underestimate, overestimate, or do we kind of fall right there in the middle?
Under.
Yeah. So it basically cost us more to be here than we anticipated, right? Yeah.
See, when we first start going around, right? Everybody, well, not going around. When we first start looking into like be slow travelers, right? Everybody was going to Asia, and we was like, oh man, it's cheap. For some reason, our minds kind of put Kenya with Asia, I think. But when we got here and we looked around a week or two, like you got you can get housing, like we said before, for a little cheaper, but for what we used to and what we kind of want, just to be honest with it, what make us comfortable, it was way higher than what I thought it would be. But you got busted. I don't know what else to say. That's just it.
Listen, you was at a loss for words.
Yeah, I was like,
all right, I thought we were going to be saving some money living here.
I want $2,000 out here. But and what's crazy is right around the corner you could get another $1,000 higher than that. Just right around the corner. But hey, I ain't doing that.
So so we looked at budgets. We were trying to determine, okay, what is our expenses going to be in Kenya versus our expenses in the States.
I don't want to mislead people, right?
Yeah.
You can actually find a halfway decent apartment for, like, I can usually say $1,200.
Yes, but for our needs and what we want, right?
Right.
And for our comfort level, the price point that we're at works for us. And so we had to figure out, okay, what is the budget and stuff going to look like? Then we had to say, okay, what are our income sources going to be?
I want to add, oh sorry,
yeah, go ahead.
I didn't interrupt. I want to add one more thing about the budget. I know people still think we're getting cheated, but I want everybody to do is add $200 on top of whatever you thinking anyway, because the gym here is $100 a person, right?
And that's some, because the gym in this building is, what would you say it was?
What do you mean?
The gym in this building.
Over $200
yes.
If we weren't like staying here.
Yes.
So yeah, add $200 to whatever budget you think it was for living, because we go to the gym all the time, so that was going to be in it, right? So if you think it was $1,200, add another $200. Now it's $1,400. So it changes the math on certain things. But that's all I wanted to put out there.
Yeah, and so how did we handle selling and donating our belongings? And did you find that to be a fun experience at all?
I did, man. We met some people that been to 100. Like one guy, he was over 100 countries. He actually came here before. He He wrote a book.
Right, about, you hiked Mount
Yeah.
Kenya.
Yeah, we actually sold to like one of the guys we came to Kenya with. His daughter actually bought something. We didn't know her.
But we met her in person. But we had been on a mission trip with her dad. Her dad told her we were selling our things and we were moving to Kenya.
And he lives like 2 hours away from us. 2 or 3 hours. Yeah.
But we had, so our house, the way it was set up, at the time when we moved to Kenya, we were empty nesters. Our youngest was in his second year of college. And we felt like, okay, I guess as a mom, like, okay, we can go now. My biggest concern was our grandchildren. I was like, man, I'm not going to be able to see them a lot. But once we had come to the conclusion, we were originally thinking about putting everything in storage.
Yeah.
And so for our American audience, I know you might be wondering, should you put your things in storage? But storage was going to be $2,000 per year. Something
like that. After 2 years, you over, right?
So we were like, okay. I was like, man, should we put this stuff? And then if you decide later that, okay, I'm staying in Kenya, because we weren't sure if we were going to like stay and like it, right?
Right.
Because you just don't know. You think you are. And I was like, okay, but if we do stay and like it, then now we have to go back, unpack everything from storage.
And sell it.
Take pictures, sell it. I was like, that's going to be a nightmare. So we sold our entire house. And the thing is, the way our house was situated, it was perfect for us.
Yeah, we got it the way we wanted it.
It was perfect.
The office, all that
our
stuff.
Living rooms, the kitchen, everything. It was perfect for us in our empty nester life.
And not to mention, it costs more for us to be here than it would cost when we was home, just to be honest with you.
So financially, it almost didn't make sense to move here. Right. But the thing is, we didn't move here based on our finances. We moved here based on our faith and where we thought the Lord was calling us to. So yeah, we sold everything. And like Germaine said, we met some amazing people along the way. And I thought I was going to be a little sad about selling everything, like as the house started getting emptier and emptier, because... And the thing is, when we started selling things, I didn't know if it was going to go fast or slow, but our stuff sold quick, so fast.
Right.
I think we started selling stuff maybe, a month or two before we left, was it?
Well, about a month, a month or two. You know what it felt like? Because I'm not going to say I didn't, sadness is not the word.
Yeah.
If you had, like, people graduated high school, when you graduate high school, you're not going to see those people anymore, or at least not as often. Like, you're not going to be going to that school anymore. That's over. That's like, the school was like our house was a school.
Yes, we knew that chapter was going to be closed. You know how some people try to go back to their high school afterwards, but it's never the same?
Yeah, so yeah.
You're just not a student there anymore.
No, right. We still have our house, but I don't see us moving back in. Like, once we got here, like we said, our faith led us here, but man, since we got here, it's like, I can't give up these 80-degree days and like 60 in the morning.
The food, the convenience here.
Yeah, it's hard to give that up again. So, yeah.
So we sold our vehicle. Well, we sold one of our vehicles.
Yeah, we had two. My son got the other one.
Yeah, we sold one of our vehicles. Even that process was just...
I mean, it was a little weird.
It was weird, but it was just an experience.
Yeah,
so we sold everything pretty quickly. So what was the hardest thing to leave behind, Germaine?
I would say kids, but no, my kids was grown, so they were gone anyway. It's really the grandkids, just to be honest with you. It's not like we saw them every day. But like they used to come by the house and we take it to the little Chick-fil-A, have our little Chick-fil-A day and do stuff with
and
them.
Our sleepovers.
Yeah, sleepovers.
In church on Sunday.
I mean, it's still kind of missing a little bit, but yeah, hopefully we can get them over here sometime.
Yeah, for me it's the same. It was the grandkids. That was just the hardest thing. Nothing else really. So how did we mentally and spiritually prepare for the move?
Mentally, well, it's like this. Once you make the decision to move, like, it seems like it goes like that. So mentally, I ain't have time to be thinking about all this other stuff. I was like, man, we got to sell this stuff in this house. This house got to go up for rent. Man, we about to be in this new place. What I'm going to do when I get there? So I ain't really have time to worry about all that other mental stuff. We pray anyway, so we going to do that. That's it. I just felt like everything moved so fast. that I can hardly remember anything, man. Just to be honest with you, it just went so fast.
It was like a whirlwind, but an adventurous whirlwind. At least for me, like I love the process. Like everything was pretty much chill. Like even us saying our farewells to like the people at our gym and the people at our church. You know.
Yeah, and I really what it was is excitement because I realized even unless your health fails, right? There was no lose.
Yeah.
If I say, okay, if it doesn't work out in Kenya, I can go to Asia. And if it doesn't work out in Asia, I come back to another country. It was just like, okay, like once you know you have some sort of income to be remote, like you could always drop your lifestyle if something happens. So it just, after a while, it just felt like a win-win. And when I got here, I was like, oh yeah, this is it. This is it here.
Yeah, and spiritually, Germaine and I just did a lot of praying. We did a lot of like discussing and writing down notes and writing down what the Lord was saying to us and just praying on it. And then even also we sat down and we talked with our pastor. I think I was even sick at the time. I think you talked with him. I think I might have been sick
you
at
ain't
the time.
come.
Yeah, I was sick.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, we talked with our pastor, we talked with our missions pastor, we talked with some friends and stuff like that. And shoot, that's even how we had found the perfect property manager for our property. Because we was going back and forth, right? We was having to decide, should we sell the house or should we rent the house? And initially we was thinking about selling it. Why?
Yeah.
What do you think helped make the decision?
Lamont, shout out to Lamont, because he works in there. He's got, he does this kind of thing. And he was like, why sell? Yeah, your house is gonna go up in value, and plus you're gonna get an income coming in every month, which is part of what I need to be here, right? So that solved half of the income problem, really, just about half. And after that, it was a no-brainer. Once you did the math, it was like I could always sell it. I could just sell it anytime, but for right now, I need this money.
And so I guess like what was some of our fears like in terms of renting versus selling? I know we knew selling, you sell it, you'll be done with it, your hands will be washed, you'll have a lump sum of money and you can do whatever you need to do with it. But what was some of our drawbacks with the renting?
Well, renters.
Well, or renting the house or having renters.
Yeah, without getting too far deep in it, right? I was part of a process like renting a house out before when I was young, and I just didn't enjoy that at all. Like the chasing and all that. So, but when he says you have somebody to do all that for you, and they like vet the renters and all that, and then we actually met the lady who's she I could tell she was gonna be about her business. So after that,
so
it was all
like,
gravy.
Yeah, it's like everything just began to work in tandem. Again, we talked to our friend who was a realtor. He told us all the upside about being renters, because we were just looking at like, I think Germaine was like kind of focused on the negative parts of renting. But our friend, he came and he told us all the great parts of it. He gave us recommendations, and then just by happenstance, we met the young lady who's going to be renting the property, which was not really the process, but for some reason we met her, and I think that kind of gave us some more, calmed us a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't really, at that point, it wasn't really the negative part of renting, it was that lump sum. I was like, give me that lump sum, that'll help a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I still kind of think that way to a certain extent, but I do like having, like, our property still in the States. It's just,
Yeah. Absolutely. And so, what were some unexpected challenges during the preparation?
Challenges?
Yeah, do we have any unexpected challenges?
To me, everything went smooth.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I said, okay, it's meant for me to go to Kenya, because everything was so smooth. The transition smooth. Everything sold quickly.
Everything sold quickly.
Right.
We got a renter in quickly. I think we got a renter in like
quickly.
Yeah, like it was.
When we were ready, it was probably less than 30 days. Then we had our friends over here looking for stuff.
Right.
Like,
we've.
And I was looking at just Airbnb as like a backup.
Right.
And that wasn't expensive Really?
We sold the van quickly.
Yeah, and that van was kind of old.
Yes, we sold that quickly.
So yeah, everything was
The
just smooth.
ETA came through quickly.
Well, that normally comes in quickly. Now that I know.
Yeah, everything just kind of came together very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a whirlwind that last week getting out of there.
Yeah, and truthfully, I think most people, right, that want to come here,
Yes.
I think it will go smoothly if they do their preparation, they talk to the right people, do the right things before they leave. It's an easy process, man. Now that I'm here and now that I've done it, I realize, man, it was so easy. You got to get a remote income thing down.
Yes. And you have to, if you're going to rent, you have to have a good property manager, because one thing Germaine and I do not worry about is our property. Everything runs smooth with that. And that's one thing. I wanted it to be a very smooth process, managing our property from another country.
Right, because if you got to worry about that home, it takes away from the thing here.
Yeah, your life here.
Yeah, the
right?
life. It takes away from it, like the weather and the people. But if I got to worry, I got worries in the back of my mind. It just takes away from everything.
Yes, and so one thing I would recommend, like with your house, like if you're not gonna sell your house and you're gonna rent your house, one tip that I would give you guys is begin preparing your house for renting. Because Germaine and I said in 2017 that I wanted to move to Kenya. We made a final decision around 2023, would you say?
Probably, yes. Around that Thanksgiving, around that time, yeah.
But truth be told, we had already been making just making little updates here and there, replacing things like hot water heater, stuff like that. And so now we're in a position to where we're renting our house. We don't get calls for a lot of things. We don't get calls for anything.
No, we don't get called for anything.
No, we don't get calls for anything because the house was just in good shape. We painted the deck. We did everything.
Yeah.
So that's another thing you want to think about. If you're going to be putting your house up, just make sure it's kind of well maintenance so you don't have to have the headaches of expenses cutting into your rent money that you're receiving.
I know me and you talked about this, but I know I was supposed to come to Kenya because
Why?
Because like I told you, me and my dad sitting down watching Wild Kingdom, watching these animals and stuff like that on Sundays, and that's probably my favorite show at the time, other than cartoons.
I never watching them shows.
Yeah, but I didn't even know where those animals were. And if you would have told me Kenya, I would have had really no idea where that was. I know it's just been in Africa, but now watching that as a kid, and because when I saw those animals, I always wanted to go to that place. I'll say always, but I kind of put it out of my head because first of all, I was like, how's somebody going to safari, right? I didn't know how much it costs. I didn't know anything about it. But now when I came here and we went on that safari in 2017.
And did we even know we was going on safari?
Maybe a couple months before we did it, but like we made the decision to come here, no. I had no idea. We just thought we was doing mission stuff.
Yes.
But but the mission stuff, they make sure you have some fun.
Well, and where we do missions is actually in the Masai Mara, so
It's right
you're
there.
in the safari when you're going to do the stuff that you're going to do.
Yeah, it's right around there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no.
No, we had to go to the park.
Yeah, that park is a good little ride from now that I think about it, but you can do other safaris.
We did the school, remember when we was at the school?
That wasn't in the Mara though. That was near the Samburu, right?
Yes.
That wasn't in the Mara though.
Oh.
But this is Kenya.
I was gonna say I saw animals.
Yeah, it's
everywhere.
animal. That wasn't the Mara though.
Okay.
But yeah, the Mara is something different. But so when I got here, I said, okay, I know I was supposed to be here. I didn't know I was supposed to live here. I know I was supposed to come here. But now that I'm here, I like, okay, it all makes sense.
Okay, so you're saying that even many years ago when you were a kid and you was watching, what'd you say, Wild Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Wild Kingdom,
Wild Kingdom, man.
Wild Kingdom, that the Lord was like sowing seeds for you to know that when you were an adult and your life was progressing, that this is probably a strand of life that he wanted you to have.
I know. So now that I'm getting older and you look back on stuff, I'm 51. That was before I was 10, right? I probably watching that at 5. You talking about 45, 46 years ago. That memory is still in my head. That we were watching that, and I just remember how feeling watching those animals. And I said, man, I need to get over there. But hey, man, that's how the Lord works.
That is how he works. Well, guys, we appreciate you tuning into this episode 2 of Getting to Know Germaine and I, and what our channel Travel Check-ins is all about. We appreciate you guys watching this video. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. And if you are someone who's interested in coming to Kenya, you want to sit down and talk with Germaine and I, we do have a link in our description. Also, if you're interested in learning more about the missionary group that we partner with, World Mission Center East Africa, we also have a link for that in the description as well. Germaine, do you have anything else for the people?
No, man, I'm good.
All right, guys. Well, we will catch you all in the next video. Bye.
All right.